Okay. Hey guys, it's me, Tina here. Back with another video. I don't normally like being online in a bonnet, but since this video is going to be about my sleep apnea experience, I might as well just tell it to you in the bed. Okay, so this is kind of what happened. I believe I'm a little shaky on the timeline because this was at least 4 to 5 years ago. But I'm pretty sure I thought that I had a sleep study done in 2019 because that was the year. Yeah, I think that was the year that I had got my, I'm pretty sure that was the year that I got my back surgery done. Okay, so maybe, but anyway, the email said it was 2020. So I'm just going to have to say it was 2020. I got it done in January of 2020. Everybody kept telling me that I, snored a lot or whatever. And I was like, okay. So, I went to get a sleep study done. Well, I wanted to get a sleep study done because this video is bad. That's okay. I'm just going to have to chop it up in editing. But I wanted to get a sleep study done because people kept saying that my parents both had sleep apnea, and they kept saying that I snort very loudly. And it all started, there's an app on your phone that you can use to see if you snore loudly. I can't remember what the app is, but the app will actually record you. So I used the app one night and it said that my snoring was really loud and I should probably go get it checked out. I can't remember the app name, but if I find the app that I thought that I tried out, I'll put the name in the description if I can find it. There's something on my phone screen that is annoying me. Okay. So, I thought that people said that I snort loud. The app said I snort loud. So I called. No. So at the time, the insurance that I had was I didn't have to go to my primary care physician to see a specialist. I can just go directly to the specialist. So that's what I did. I went to a specialist. And I'm not even sure why I went to this particular specialist because it's not with my normal hospital group. But I went to the specialist to get a sleep study done. So my insurance is kind of janky. Still is. But it was I don't know if it was better or worse than it is now. I don't know because I haven't really used my new insurance. Sorry, my eye is leaking. But I haven't used it. Damn it, I'm going to bring you into the story soon. I hadn't really used I hadn't really used my new insurance now, so I don't really know if it's, is it as questionable as my previous insurance was or not. But anywho, so my insurance, I think they kind of start you out as like, I don't know, because when my parents originally got done, their initial sleep studies were actual sleep studies. But my sleep study was an in-home sleep study. So you sit through this little orientation of them telling you how to use the machine, and then you bring the machine back home with you, and then you strap the thingy on your finger and do whatever. And I think you had like some little oxygen thing that you put in your nose. I don't know. Like what do they call it? A cannula, the little oxygen thingies. So I did the at-home sleep study, but I'm not 100% sure. I think I woke up and that little thing was not on because it was so janky the way they gave it to you. They give you like a little wire, but it has some tape on it. But they just wouldn't give you the roll of tape so you could administer it yourself. They just had the tape already on the wire. So, of course, by the time you get home and actually wrap it around, the tape isn't as sticky. So, that damn thing, I'm pretty sure it might have fell off during the night. Or anywho, the results came back. And he said that I had sleep apnea, which was a little weird because everybody I know who had the sleep apnea test done, they were like, oh, you stopped breathing this many times. But I don't recall ever getting any actual results. But I didn't know because most of the people I know had like actually in lab ones where they like put all of these electrodes and stuff on you. But anywho, he said that I had sleep apnea, and I was like, oh, okay. So, but then he was like, you're, but he said that I had sleep apnea, but insurance said that it wasn't bad enough for a CPAP machine. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. So he was like, you got it, but insurance says that it's not bad enough. But he was like, but I think that your sleep apnea might be more worse than the at-home study said. So I want you to go to an in-lab sleep study. But your insurance won't cover that. And I was like, what? And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. So at that point, I didn't know what to do because I'm like, well, damn it, do I get it or do I not get it? But then he was like, so I felt like I was caught up in the middle between the insurance company and the doctor. So I wasn't sure if the sleep, it was just weird saying like, you got it, but it's not bad enough. So I'm like, well, I didn't know what to do at that point. So, but I guess his office didn't really coordinate with the sleep machine people because like 2 days later, the lady called me like, hey, she was like, hey, I'm here for you need to come in and get your sleep machine. And I was like, well, doctor said that the insurance company was going to cover it. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, oh, well, it don't. Then she was like, well, you might as well not come in then, because if they're not going to cover it, we're not going to give you one, which is weird. So I was caught up in the middle of if I needed the sleep machine or if I didn't need the sleep machine. But since they said that they weren't going to pay for it, I was just like, well, I guess I'll just pay for it out of my pocket. So I asked him for a prescription, and he gave me a prescription for the sleep machine, and there was his company. Now, this is all in the beginning of 2020. And if you guys recall, in the beginning of 2020, what was possibly happening, then you'll kind of know what was going on at that time. Luckily, and then at one point, sleep apnea machines, the CPAP machines got really scarce because they were using them as vents for the vid in early 2020, if you guys remember, but you might not remember. But luckily, I found this website online that I purchased the machine from called Second Wind CPAP. I'm going to put it on the screen. It's called Second Wind CPAP. And as I started to do like a little bit more digging about it, I found that some people said that they just purchased their machines outright because they didn't want to be bothered with insurance, because I guess insurance has very like they have strict rules about CPAP machines, mainly because they can be uncomfortable and a bit cumbersome and people just don't want to use them. So they have rules about how much you have to use the machine and all of this other stuff, and you're supposed to get and if you're bound not to be in compliance, then they can they'll take the machine from you or bill you or something. I don't know, because they said that they weren't going to pay for it for me, so I don't know what the exact rules and regulations are for insurance usage. But I do have an app that tells me like how much I use the machine, how many episodes I have, how many times I take the mask off. So I actually use the ResMed Air Sense. I believe this is the 10 for her. It has, I'll take a picture of it. It has like little flowers on it because it's the her version. But that's pretty much my story. So I've been using this CPAP for going on 5 years now, but I just buy everything myself. So I bought the machine myself. Back at that time, that was back in 2020 when I got it, but it was $5.99. It was new because they do sell, they do have used machines on there as well. At the Second Wind CPAP, I believe that they're in North Carolina. Don't quote me on that, but I believe they're in North Carolina. And if you have a prescription from your doctor, then you can just go to them directly. You don't have to go through your insurance if you don't want to. The only thing with not going through your insurance is just another thing for you to have to pay for out of pocket. So you'll have to pay for the masks and the hose and the filters and all the little pieces and parts and straps, and it can add up because a lot of the masks themselves start out like over $100. So it can add up. But that is kind of my sleep apnea story. So I don't really know 100% if I have the sleep apnea. And I keep telling my cousin, like, I don't think I got it. Cause the because my numbers are like 0.3 episode per hour. And my cousin's like, because the machine is breathing for you, fool. So I feel that I do have it, but I just don't really know how bad it is. And I'll never know because I think I want to say maybe like 6 months ago, 6 months to a year ago, I got either I either got an email or I think it might have been a mail. No, it wouldn't have been an email because I probably would have missed it. I think it was a letter that came in the mail. It was like, oh, this doctor is no longer with this practice. And I was like, well, he wasn't worth a damn no way. So, so, I don't know. But when I did see that Zepbound was covered for sleep apnea, I thought of maybe trying to get I thought about trying to get a sleep study done again, but I'm like, if they're just going to make me do that at home bullshit again with that janky ass electrode situation, then I don't know if I want to mess around with it. And depending on how my insurance is, my new insurance will also depend if I try to go that route again. But they do offer, I see that they do have some places where you can have online sleep studies done. Well, basically, it's kind of like the at-home one that I did before. You just have a consultation with them online, and then they send the machine to you, and then you send the machine back to you. So I'm like, maybe I could do that again, and then maybe I would at least have some better results. But in all actuality, I would prefer an in-lab one, but you know how that is. I doubt that insurance would be willing to pay for that, especially my particular insurance that I have. So I'm not 100% sure. I did kind of think about the idea about possibly trying to get a sleep study done again. But thank you so much, Raina, for commenting that, because I kind of it was like a fleeting thought, like, oh, maybe I should do it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to fuck around with that, because if they're just going to pay in my place and then make me pay $3,000 for a deductible for some half-ass at-home study, then I'm like, is it really worth it in that case? But I don't know. Your comment, Raina, did make me think, well, maybe, oh, there I go again. Maybe I should actually, possibly look into trying to get it done again. So I don't know how that's going to go. Yeah, so that's it. But that's pretty much my my little complicated sleep apnea story. I guess a certain level of not stopping breathing is acceptable and a certain level is not. And apparently, according to United Healthcare, my level of breath stopping was acceptable and not not worthy of a machine. But just since I was caught in the middle and I was like, I don't know, I still use the machine fairly regularly. So I use it pretty much nightly. As my face has started to get irritated a little bit, some days I notice that I don't have it on as much, but I am wondering though, if even though it's a auto set machine, it kind of just adjusts based off of, you know, it kind of like automatically adjusts. There are some clinical settings in there that I had went in and tinkered with, from my original settings, just because I didn't have anybody to go, like normally when you have sleep apnea, you take your little chip in there to the doctor and you take your machine and they'll set it, for the settings that you want. But he recommended I get an auto set machine, maybe. But I think I will go back in there and maybe turn it down, since I have lost, since I've lost like 46-ish pounds from my highest weight. I might not need as strong of a setting anymore, and that I think might possibly be causing some headaches and like extra dryness and everything like that. I'm not 100% sure if the sleep apnea machine is causing my headaches or if it's something else. But also, normally this time of year, I normally put water in my machine, but I hadn't been putting water in there. But tonight I did put some water in there, so I'm like, maybe if I go back to using the water and maybe turn the machine down a little bit, I might not feel as bad, but I don't know. But I mean, that was like 5 years ago, because I found an email where I went in like January of 2020. So in actuality, I guess if I was seeing somebody regularly about this, then I probably would need a new sleep study anyway. So maybe that is something that I should look into, just to see how much something like that would cost. But I'm pretty sure that it won't be covered. And my deductible is really weird. We're on some weird plan with various tiers. So sometimes it's 3,000, but it could be 4,500, or it could be even higher than that, just depending on which doctor that you go to. I just don't understand why all of this shit has to be so complicated. Like, you take that money out of my check, and I should be able to get service that doesn't cost an arm or a leg. And then when you think about it, they're taking your premiums and you're not getting the shit that you need. Excuse my French. And then you have to pay for the things that you need out of pocket and still pay for the premiums. Like, the math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. But I'm not going to go on my rant, because that won't really get me anywhere. But thank you for your comment, Raina. I am going to consider this a little bit and try to see what I think I should do. Okay, well, talk with you guys later. Okay, bye. Okay, I brushed my teeth, moisturized, and put me a little pimple patch on my pimple, and put some on my lips. But I'm not, I don't know if I asked you guys, but what do you guys think I should do? Do you think I should first consult with my insurance to see if they even cover Zepbound for sleep apnea? And then I should try to get like a sleep study. I don't know what the next steps would be to take. Since I was confused about if I even had it in the first place, I never told my primary care physician that. I just basically been using the machine for the last 5 years. Now, there is a report that I can bring up on my phone that shows that I've actually been using the machine, but I'm just not sure exactly what my next step should be to try and possibly get this covered. So I don't know. Should I start with a call to my insurance company to see if it's something that is covered? Or, yeah, I guess I probably should start there, because it doesn't really make sense for me to get a new sleep study if they say they're not going to cover it anyway. So maybe that should be my starting point, but I don't know. I'm totally confused. I guess random stray hairs. I'm totally confused about what would be a good option. So you guys just comment down below what you do in my case. Thank you so much if you made it this far to the end of the video. I think that's all that I have for today. So I'll talk with you guys later. Okay, bye.